Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be talking about your Battlegrounds and that's okay post. Because, well, quite frankly, the main reason I'm making this video is because so many of you have asked me to, either in comment section, DMs, or in live streams. Initially, I did not want to necessarily weigh in on this issue because I do find it being extremely subjective on the way you perceive things and on which way you stand in the game and Battlegrounds, because anything I say on the matter will automatically get judged from the standpoint of somebody who's fairly successful or decent at Battlegrounds and does generally well at them, has played the game for a long time, has a big account, doesn't, have any matchmaking issues anywhere really, because, there aren't many much bigger accounts than mine, and even if there are, those are the accounts that I'm supposed to compete against. So my experience in Battlegrounds will inevitably be completely different, and therefore my take and opinions about Battlegrounds and posts like this, because it doesn't necessarily hit home with me personally on a personal level. I don't feel insulted or slighted. I don't feel, any negative emotions personally towards this. Obviously, however, I can still comment on the fallout of it, because it has been an extremely divisive post. Obviously, we have the original bootlickers here, jumping in, being very insulting and aggressive, defending the post, because learn to take a joke, you triggered because of that, and there have been follow-up discussions, which I think JJ put in quite good summary how it made him feel. But it's one thing is for clear. A lot of people feel all sorts of different ways about it. And as somebody who, in this particular issue, is trying to take a bit of a step back and appreciate the way other people see this, I can say that it's a joke or it's a lighthearted thing that inevitably has turned sour. And then we as a community kind of need to decide what we want from Kabam. Because obviously Kabam Jax, I don't believe for a moment he meant any, offense to be taken by anything that he said, which is also something that he tries to clarify in his follow-up posts. And, that's the way he sees the game, the way he's trying to, joke around and be goofy, and that's his personality, and that's perfectly fine. And again, anything he says further on will kind of get judged from each and every single one of your individual perspectives. If you struggle in Battlegrounds a lot, you might find this, extremely distasteful and kind of mocking you with the comments like touching grass or get good or, suck or in your denial. A lot of it is and was on the, more comic side, I guess you'd say. And it's quite literally whether you're willing to go along with it. And with Kabam, again, all of these jokes are as funny as much as they directly correlate to you. If you're going to Kabam forum, Kabam blog, not too long ago, Kabam also made a humorous post about April 1st bug fixes, for instance. And I found that very funny. I actually almost made a video about it. I just read it too late and it was already past April Fools. But I think this was awesome. I think, finally fixed the bug where crit penetration got set to 80% instead of the intended 20. Mysterio and America Charizard now likely throw heavy attacks than previously did. And, these are genuinely funny jokes. And I think they're objectively funny. Even in jokes like this, somebody will always be able to take offense because these are legitimate bugs and issues that we kind of can encounter. Right? Fixed an issue that made Hyperion and Mordor too aggressive. It's kind of like a play on the fact that we always eat level 3s and they anchor up and stuff like that. And those are genuine frustrations that, some people in worse moods might not find funny. But, on a personal level, I found this to be incredibly funny. I guess what I'm trying to get at, without mumbling too much about this, I don't think it was in the best taste. I think it was well-intentioned, but on the riskier side, and I do think that at this point, Kabam Jax probably regrets having made that post because of the fallout. I'm not going to tell anybody how they should feel about it because, again, it's extremely personal, whether you think it's a joke and it was a good joke and you love the post and article, whether you think it's demeaning and insulting and, you feel worse after having read it and you get the feeling that somebody's mocking you because of your struggles in the game. What I will say, though, on the matter is, I personally don't think Kabam employees directly should be making posts like this. I don't think it goes in a part of managing community or being helpful to the community or and so on and so forth. I think it's best to leave this part to the forum guardians, the CCP members, to the most diligent forum post users, and I think it's perfectly fine when Kabam highlights some of this stuff and they throw an announcement on it, link it, talk about it, discuss it, or even if they ask somebody else, not necessarily, working for Kabam, to make some interesting, thought pieces like that. I think that's fine. I think it always will ring differently if it's coming from somebody that works for Kabam directly, because in human brain you do not differentiate, or most people do not differentiate, the nuance of each individual person at Kabam having a completely different job. And design of Battlegrounds is not Kabam Jax's purview. Dealing with bugs or AI is not Kabam Jax's purview. And any other issues that we might have with game economy or champion acquisition, that's not what Kabam Jax does. Kabam Jax interacts with community and does the best job that he can. But in our heads, it's very easy to blame Kabam Jax or feel frustrated at him, or more specifically at the game as a whole, and that includes Kabam Jax, because things are not great or things are not working perfectly, and now you get a feeling that Kabam at large is kind of like mocking you for struggling, which is not the case, obviously, because there are different departments who do different jobs at varying levels of quality, should I say. And overall, let's agree to it. Kabam Jax has been good at his job, relatively controversy-free. I think this is like the first or big thing that's kind of controversial from Kabam Jax. Typically, they leave that stuff to Kabam Mike, like when he blew up the whole Perk nerf drama and stuff like that. Typically, it has been Kabam Mike that kind of like causes extremely polarizing response. But do I personally feel like this has been no reaction? Yeah, I do. Again, it's easy for me to say because it doesn't directly hit home at me. But at the same time, I don't think Kabam Jax meant any offense in it. Was it in a good taste for everybody? No. But rarely everything is. Would I advise Kabam Jax or Kabam, members of community in general to make posts like that? Not really. Or at the very least, if they do want to joke around like that, then be much, much more selective about how they could come across. Because again, just like, testing for bugs, testing for community's response to their public replies, also never been the strong suit of Kabam. At least half of the issues that have blown up not because of the issue itself, but because of the way Kabam is handling it or replying to people in regards of said issues. How long it takes, or the nature of the posts or the decisions that they make, the way they're going to address problems. And even like these things, there are like a whole bunch of threads. People, feel all sorts of different ways, and all of them are closed. All of them are closed. No, it's not, and this is why I'm mad at Jax, not for the article, but because he didn't add it. Well, there you go. Anyways. Yeah. I don't think it's something to blow out of proportion. But again, I fully understand that I might not think that because it doesn't directly kind of cut in deep with me. But overall, I think Big Lebowski had that quote that I really like in life. It's where it said, "You're not wrong. You're just an asshole." In this case, I don't mean he intended to be an asshole, but that's how he came across to a lot of people. And this is where we stand right now. Let me know what you guys think on the subject, and I'm gonna catch you later. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the